Hello, Libra. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. And thank you, as always, for watching these readings and checking them out. This week, we're going to be using the Crystal Visions Tarot. Libra, I love this combo. I love it. I love it when rebellion and anti-hero shows up, and I don't get to see this one a lot. So from Le Vampire, anti-hero, Maverick, risk taker, and rule breaker. Hell yeah. And then you pull perception from Chakra Wisdom. This to me is very simply you are changing your perception on who you are, where you have been, and what you have learned through everything that you've been through. Your perception is changing on things, but something is coming full circle for you here. Now with anti-hero, you're just showing people that the typical hero is not what you are about. You know, you don't fit into a box. You are much more than that, but you're just as good as everybody else. Now, when you're looking at perception, the inspiration says, often our journey brings us full circle, leaving us to wonder why things happened. This card teaches us to follow through on whatever is before us. Going back is not an option. And oh, hell no, you are not going back with anti-hero. All right, Libra. Here is your overall for the week. Oh boy. So, I don't want to call it yet. I think I know what this one is, and only because my deck is so beat up, but whoo-wee, the Ace of Cups being the overall. I want some of that too, damn it. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Brand new beginning for some of you. Emotionally fulfilling, better connection to spirit. I love the Ace of Cups, I do. Oh, okay. In the past, the Five of Swords. Now, hopefully this just stays the past. Now, for some of you, you may be done with this, though, too. Because, you know, again, you are looking at a new beginning, and that is your past, the Five of Swords. I mean, look at it. You know, she's being stabbed in the back, right? Having somebody come in and take what they wanted from you, and then they leave. You know, for some of you, it's just arguments, disagreements, but it's, right, like, this one's difficult for me because of the whole hollow victory. You know, when you look at the Five of Swords, it talks about somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes to get what they want. And clearly here, you know, for some of you, you were the one that was hurt. But that, you have this. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Knight of Cups. Oh boy. So, Libra, with the Knight of Cups, you may be offering this, or this is what's being presented to you here. Now, I think, though, that there may be some hesitation on your part if you do have this coming through just because of what you've dealt with in the past. Because if you're looking at a Knight of Cups coming through and handing you a new cup, you may be looking at it like, why the fuck should I take this if this is what I'm going to have to deal with? You know, but this is the past, right? Now, for some of you, you're just getting out of this, and you may be accepting a brand new offer that's coming through right now. But I have to see what's happening here. Why? Why? The Hangman. When you're talking about changing your perception, yeah, I mean, I don't so much feel like, because I would have expected to see this as the overall. I think that you're stalling on this. I think it's there. I think it's right there in front of you. But I think that some of you may still be caught up with this. And that's why it's not that easy to just accept a new offer or that new cup or new love. You know, whatever is coming in here. But whatever it is, it's good. Really good. But with the Hangman and future conditions, you know, you are needing to change your perspective. You know, you're still stuck with this. I don't know. That bothers me with the Ace of Cups being there. Your best path to follow, the Queen of Swords. Fucking right. If you're dealing with the Five of Swords type of energy, if you're dealing with people who take what they can from you and then just leave you with nothing, then yeah, it's time to cut that out. with the Queen of Swords. Absolutely. I don't think that you need to be cold and harsh and cut out what's coming into you now. I think that the past needs to be over with, and you need to cut the cord, so to speak, on that situation, with the Hangman being future conditions, because you're just stalling the inevitable. That's there for you. It's right there. I rarely ever get to see this as the overall. It's good, Libra. It's good. It's right there. It's all you got to do is grab it. That's it. But for some of you, you're in a prior situation right now and you can't see how to accept this yet. But I do think with her being your advice, that yeah, you know, you may have to be the Ice Queen and cut this nonsense out and stop stalling here and make a choice on whether or not this is something you want to accept, because you do have somebody coming through or something coming through here that's really good. Woo, in your environment, the world. And I like it looking at it this way, and I do like it too with the Knight of Cups. This is one of the few times where I actually feel good about him. Like, I just feel like this is something else that's preventing you from accepting this. With the world being in your environment, you're talking about the successful completion. Feeling like you have accomplished something, wanting to get closure on a situation, and hopefully you are, but you're still hesitating though on this. You know, I don't see the world and the Knight of Cups being, you know, a bad thing together. I feel like once you accept this, it may give you absolute closure on what you've dealt with in the past or whatever it is that you're dealing with. And that door is going to open up for this new beginning, but, you know, you're going to have to cut something out. Something needs to stop. Because I look at her and the Five of Swords, I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. But I like the world being in your environment. Because to me, it's like it'll be done with, but in a good way for you, where you feel good about, you know, the new beginning. And that's these two perfect. It's perfect. But why this? This is what's like, right? Like, I can understand the Five of Swords is the past, but, you know, why still stay with it? Oh, Libra. Really? I want some of this, damn it. This is really good. This is not bad at all. Your hopes and your fears, the Two of Cups, making that connection, especially if we're talking about new love, new relationship. I mean, look at it. Come on now. Woo, that's good. And it may be that, you know, you're needing to strengthen a relationship that you're in now, right? The fighting needs to be over with. We need to get closure on disagreements, miscommunications. And for some of you, it's a brand new situation here. And yeah, with the Two of Cups as hopes and fears, it's, yeah. You know, and again, right, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but, you know, come on. I mean, looking at it, I'm like, yeah, like I feel the love. I feel the connection. I feel like you're wanting to have this. If you accept that ace and you take that and run with it, this is what you're wanting out of it. And then coming out, the Ten of Pentacles. Now, I'm a little bit iffy on that. It looks great because to me, it's like once you stop being hung up on this, it looks like it completes in a really nice way for you. You have this available to you. It may lead to a beautiful relationship. And then you have, you know, absolute stability and security here with the Ten of Pentacles. But, you know, are you, like, not really doing anything, though? Because there's security and stability where you're at. Like, and then the Four of Pentacles, Libra. What? Okay. Now, when we're talking about absolute stability and security, you know, whether we're talking about that within relationships or we're talking about that in the physical. With the Nine of Swords, you're overthinking things. Way too much. Way too much. You know, and now I wonder, though, if some of you... It makes me wonder if some of you aren't thinking about wanting something new. It's still there. But if you're in a difficult situation, you may be looking at this going, that's what I want. And I wonder if you're like, I don't want to say regretting thinking that way, but like feeling bad about it. But there's a lot of anxiety when it comes to this. Now with the sun, right, everything's being cleared up. And as far as like the Nine of Swords kicking this off, I don't so much feel like you're being drained. I feel like you're seeing everything clearly now and everything is being brought out. There's no deception, nothing being kept hidden, right? Seeing everything for what it is. And it's good, but then you have the Four of Pentacles where you're not willing to give. And it may be, like I said, because there is stability where you're at right now. All of that looks brand new coming through. That's crossing you. But what you're already dealing with, there may be a level of security there that either you or somebody else is not wanting to change with the Four of Pentacles, you know, and that's why there's the hold up here with the Hangman. But regardless, that's still there. I mean, that's, to me, is not going anywhere. You still have this beautiful, beautiful Ace of Cups right in front of you. You know, and maybe some of you do need to get closure on a situation here before you can do this. And it may have to do with a relationship, possibly. But I still see you needing to cut this out. Not so much what's coming through. But, you know, you're way overthinking things. The sun is shining on all of this. But yet you're still hanging in there. And that's what, because, I mean, look at them, you know? I mean, that's what bothers me. Especially with the Ace of Cups being there. I would just say, Libra, you know, if you are in a difficult situation right now, you know, it may be time for that new beginning. But then I also feel like some of you are tired of being taken advantage of. And that may be where the holdup is coming in, though, too. You know, especially with relationships. Let's just take a look and see what's going on here. So, for those of you who are single, I'm telling you, you have something really good coming through here. Now, with the Ace of Wands, right, passion. And then not only that, but getting over the past, right, with reconciliation being there, absolutely. But new passion, new beginning here. You know, new physical connection. It looks good. I like the Ace of Wands here. But for those of you who are in a relationship, getting to know each other and then looking at temperance, this may be one of those things where you need to get to know each other before, like, you know, forcing something to happen. But I don't really see it as a bad thing. When you're looking at temperance, you're talking about needing to get the passion going, right? But coming from a balanced place. You know, beyond dealing with Sagittarius here. But like I said, with getting to know each other, it's, you know, moving slowly but surely here to more passion for sure. Sorry guys, I'm shedding again. But I like temperance. It to me, it doesn't feel bad. It just feels like there may be a little bit lacking. And that's where, you know, you're needing to spend time with each other. Getting to know each other. But wow, Libra, yeah. Yeah, that Ace of Cups is going to be front and center, and I feel like it's still going to be there regardless of whatever you're waiting on. But if you're done with, you know, dealing with betrayal and disagreements and arguments and people taking advantage of you, then yeah, that is something that you need to turn your back on here and cut out of your life for good. Especially with the world being there. But like I said, I mean, looking at it coming across, it definitely looks like it's a new situation, especially for relationships. But just be careful about how you're thinking about things here and how much, you know, you're thinking about your own security and stability, especially with the Four of Pentacles, because you're not letting go. You're not letting go just yet, but that ace is still there. All right, Libra, so, you know, I still think that this is about you changing your perception on you and you breaking the rules now, which, oh my God, I love. I love these two together for some of you. It's perfect. Breaking the rules, showing people that you don't fit into a box anymore, and things coming full circle for you, and absolutely with the world being there. Now, let me just say that for some of you, this could definitely be a family situation. And it could be getting a better connection with someone within the family, which is absolutely possible. But, you know, I mean, come on. And I gotta call it like I see it, right? Because, you know, oh, I rarely get to see this. I rarely ever get to see this, especially with the Ace of Cups being the overall. Ooh, that ace is definitely there for you. And, you know, you may be holding off, though, on accepting this. And I say this because, you know, I'm looking at what's coming out in the outcome. So to me, it looks like, first of all, let me just start from the beginning here. It looks like you do have an offer coming through, but I think some of you are looking to get closure on a difficult past. You know, and this could be possibly with a family member, a person, a lover, whatever. Now, with the World, though, I feel like once you accept that Ace of Cups with this Knight of Cups being here, that things are going to be, you know, finished out. It's going to open into a new cycle. And definitely you have that Ace of Cups there, which is perfect. Perfect. But with the World, when you're talking about an ending there, it's feeling good, feeling like you have completed something in a good way for you. Like every time I see it, I want to go like this, like, oh, okay, it's finally done. It's finally over with, right? But in a way where you feel good, right? Sitting on top of the world and feeling like you're able to move on to a new beginning, which is fantastic. It's fantastic. But some of you aren't doing it, though. And I worry that it has to do with the security and stability that you already have, because I don't see you letting go of it because of the Four of Pentacles coming out on that. Now, you know, you're needing definitely to see things differently and changing your perspective and your perception. And like I said, this could be a family situation and a better connection here, and somebody making the offer to have a better connection with you, and that is what you're hoping for. You know, but like I said, there's something that you're needing to, like, cut out for good. Like, you know, if somebody is coming through and trying to make a better connection with you, it's one of those things where you have to speak up about what you're not willing to deal with anymore. And that's it, right? Now, with the Sun, and then looking at the Nine of Swords, I think that there are a lot of things that you've been thinking about. And I think that it's one of those things where, you know, all the cards are being brought out onto the table. You know what I mean? Like, you're not withholding that. Everything's coming out. There's nothing that's being kept anymore. But then you're still, like, I almost feel like stubborn here. Wanting to, you know, stay where you're at. You know, a lot of times with the Four of Pentacles, the reason why, you know, we don't want to give anything is because we don't want to change what little bit of security we do have, or what we have gained. There is a level of security where you're at right now. Why should you give into something new? You know, if you're getting over arguments in terms of getting a better connection with people in your life, you can't be here, you know? And that may be why we're looking at the Nine of Swords and the Sun. It's like, you know, needing to release all of those thoughts that have been in your mind and getting them out in the open, and, you know, opening up the communication on that, which is possible here. But I still see the Ace of Cups front and center, like, whoo, it's perfect. So no matter what you choose to do, that ace is still there. But, you know, like I said, aces are great when they show up, but they don't mean a fucking thing if we don't do something about it. So really, it's up to you on what you do with that Ace of Cups, but it's perfect. Now, in terms of relationships, and I know I said this last week, I'm so sick of hearing about the past returning. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life, and then you have the Ace of Wands, and that is a good beginning too. A lot of passion, good physical connection, moving away from the past, which is a good thing. It is a brand new start here. And, you know, I feel like it's a good thing. It's actually a good thing this time if somebody is wanting to come in and fix things with you. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, getting to know each other in Temperance, it's just take your time, right? Take your time before you start moving into a place where, you know, you kind of push it to the Ace of Wands where there's more passion, right? Like, I don't see it as a bad thing. But damn it, Libra, like, I keep looking at how this is crossing you, and I'm like, yeah. You know, anybody would love to see this in their reading. And it's beautiful, but I can understand where you may not be willing to give up your position just yet, and you needing to see things differently first. But, you know, that ace is right there. It's just whether or not you want to make the most of it.